If you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or even 50s, and you feel like you've always had this passion for drawing anime and manga since you were a kid, and yet you find yourself still struggling with your art, still struggling to put your ideas on paper, still struggling to get anywhere with your craft, then this video is for you. Let's get this straight. This is not another how-to tutorial video. This is a wake-up call for aspiring anime and manga artists out there who have been struggling for years. You see, I've had the honor to talk to a few aspiring anime and manga artists in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and beyond recently. Every one of them encountered roadblocks in their creative journey that has stopped them from achieving their dreams. Dreams of making their own manga, getting their art recognized, creating a mark in this world through their ideas and stories. Even though they're passionate about it, sometimes life just gets in the way. One day, you're on a high drawing your favorite anime character, thinking of amazing stories and adventures with your fellow otaku friends, and before you know it, you've taken a break from drawing. You haven't accomplished any of those creative goals you set out for yourself, and you just find yourself feeling lost in life. And yet, despite all the hardships you've gone through, you know you still cannot give up on your art. You can't let go of this thought of what could be, but at the same time, you feel lost, insecure, frustrated because you just don't know how to get there. If this sounds like you, then make sure to stick around until the end. In case you're new, I just want to share our mission. We're here to help aspiring anime and manga artists just like you who feel stuck and stagnant with their art finally feel more confident and fulfilled. We want to help you hone your artistic talent so you can level up from copying and creating fan art to finally designing your own original characters and illustrations. If you want to finally express your ideas and creativity through your anime and manga art with more confidence and pride, then feel free to book a call with us and we'll see how we can help you. The link is in the description.
I'm already in my 40s and I see all these young, talented artists who are better than me. I've been at this for years, but I still can't fully put my ideas on paper. I know I have the potential to also create amazing art.
Have you ever had this thought? I've actually talked to quite a few aspiring artists who share these exact same sentiments. When I ask them what's holding them back, they tell me that they're scared it won't work out. What if I'm not good enough? What if this all amounts to nothing? What if I'm just wasting all this time on art? It's scary when you feel like you're working so hard, but it feels like you're heading nowhere. And yet, despite all these doubts, you still can't give up because you know deep inside you have the talent, you have the potential, you can be great like all these other artists you see. But why am I still not there yet? Let me ask you an honest question. Have you kept drawing and practicing all these years? If you have, did you actually seek to challenge yourself? Did you draw things outside of your comfort zone? Did you continue to learn new theories, concepts, techniques? If you have, did you put yourself out there? Did you post your works on social media? Try to sell at anime conventions? Created a portfolio and send it out to potential clients or employers? Let us know your experience in the comments. The reason I'm curious about your answer is because more often than not, a lot of artists that feel like they could do more actually don't invest enough time and effort to practice. They don't step out of their comfort zones. They don't put themselves out there. They're scared of failing, scared that they'd make something ugly, scared that people would judge their art, scared that they'd get rejected. Let me tell you about one of my friends who made it as a professional manga artist in Japan. I used to work for a Japanese gaming company in Tokyo, and she was a very talented illustrator there. I wanted to be like her, so I asked her how she got so good, and she told me her story.
Actually, I've been drawing anime since I was a kid. My dream was to become a manga artist. I even went to an art college for it. But I couldn't find any kind of illustration or drawing job after that. I applied to so many jobs, but they all told me my skills weren't good enough.
You know what she did after that? Well, just like any adult, She had bills to pay and had to figure something out. So she took a receptionist job working at a dental clinic. She wasn't rolling in cash, nor was she doing anything related to her passion or degree. But the great thing was that there was no overtime. And if you know the work culture in Japan, they just love working overtime. My friend had other plans for her free time. When she got home, she practiced drawing every day. I think when we face that kind of back-to-back rejection of people telling us our art isn't good enough, or when people ignore our creations, that's usually when our doubts creep in. We lose motivation, we start questioning ourselves, and we stop drawing, we stop practicing, and ultimately, we stop getting better, and we stop moving towards our goals. Whereas my friend, she continued to practice for years, sending out job applications until she finally found a gaming company that hired her as an illustrator. But even when she was already working as a game illustrator, she still had not given up on her dream to become a mangaka. So during her free time, she actually worked on her own manga. Can you imagine that? She was drawing at work and at home. She would go to these big anime conventions bringing her manga. In Japan, publishers would have booths at these conventions where you could actually get your works reviewed. They'd give you advice on your story, your art, and sometimes you might even get a break. After 2 to 3 years of going to these conventions, an editor thought my friend had potential and gave her a one-shot project. She worked with a writer and she was the illustrator for that manga. About a year later, she was offered to work on a serialization, and that allowed her to finally quit the gaming company to become a full-time mangaka. My friend was already in her 30s when she made it happen. And the amount of hard work she put into it really spoke mountains as to how serious she was about becoming a mangaka. It wasn't just a dream for her, it was a goal. She didn't just settle. She faced so many rejections, and it took her years. Whatever she lacked in skill, she made up with it through years of hard work and dedication. I wanted to share this story because I know you also want to achieve great things with your art. But you can't do it if you don't make time to practice or push yourself out of your comfort zone or put yourself out there with the possibility of rejection. No one ever said it was gonna be easy. If it were, then you wouldn't even be watching this video right now. If you know you're stuck on a plateau and you feel like you have so much more potential and talent than this, then something has to change. You gotta find more time to practice. You gotta change your lifestyle and make time for it. You gotta stop copying or drawing the same headshot, the same pose, the same expression and angle, and start learning more about drawing foundations and techniques. You gotta start putting your art out into the world despite the lack of attention or your fear of judgment and rejection. I truly believe that if you keep practicing with purpose and direction and invest enough time in it, you'll naturally just become better. And if you put yourself out there, you'll finally be able to open doors you never imagined was possible. We've worked with over 200 anime and manga artists, and we've seen it happen. Some of our students gained the confidence to finally stop copying and design their own original characters. They were able to level up from sketches to finally creating fully rendered colored illustrations. They were able to share their artworks on social media, not just with their family. They were able to accept paid commissions, sell their own merchandise, start their own art YouTube channel, and even create their own manga. If they can do this, then what's stopping you? I know you're nervous. I know you're scared. But is your fear bigger than your dream? If you finally want to stop living in fear of failure and rejection and want to finally accelerate your growth as an anime and manga artist, then we're here to help you gain more confidence, designing your own original illustrations, and finally putting your creativity and ideas on paper. If you want to get more hands-on mentorship, then we invite you to book a consultation call with us. We'd love to learn more about you, your art journey, and your art goals. We'll see if we can help. The link to book a call is in the description. In case you want more inspiration and motivation, here's an interview with one of our students and how breaking her arm led to the best art decisions she's ever made. See you in the next video.